What I deeply appreciate about the way you started your journey is that you did the same mistake that most people do, right? Because our conditioning right from the beginning, from our school days, is grammar sai kar lo. Right? This is what we have been taught. But the reality is actually the opposite. I'm not saying grammar is not important, but grammar has a role afterwards. First is developing the speaking confidence. For example, the point that I'm trying to make here is if grammar is so important, why not teach grammar? No. The right formula is to make grammatical practices without getting into the rules. Can you hear me, Karishma?
Yes, now I can hear you, but still you're visible now.
All right. So I could hear you. So the problem here is that it is actually not on mute. It happens sometimes that this platform has a problem. If the
Okay.
internet bandwidth is low, sometimes at your end or my end, wherever. Also, there is a technical glitch. It shows as a cross mark on the mic or on the camera, even if you can see yourself, I can see you, right? There's some issue. We are trying to deal with it, but unfortunately, it has not been solved yet. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you. All right, so let's begin with a little bit of introduction of yourself. If you could tell me where are you from, what do you do, anything that you're comfortable to share.
Yeah. As you can see on screen, my name is Karishma Chauhan. I was
Uh huh.
born and brought up in Delhi, and but
All right.
presently I'm staying in Gurgaon.
All
I
right.
am a mother of two kids, and
Mm-hmm.
as far as my qualification is concerned, I have done
Mm-hmm.
my graduation in commerce stream, and then I pursue LLB from
Mm-hmm.
CCS University. So right now, by profession, I'm an advocate, and
All
I'm
right.
also a part-time YouTuber. Yeah, that's it.
A YouTuber, wonderful. Right.
Yeah.
So I see so many people from different and varied professions these days getting into YouTube and social media influencing. We'll talk about it later more, but as of now, let's begin with a bit of your introduction about what is the reason or what is the goal you have in mind, which is why you started your English speaking journey. Can you give me some idea, some thoughts around it?
English is speaking, as you already know, that English language has become a global language. It is required in each and every field. And since
Mm-hmm.
my childhood, I was very poor in English, and I have this thought in my mind that one day I have to become fluent in this language. And
Mm-hmm.
during my studies, I chose to become an advocate. So that is the
Mm-hmm.
main requirement where English is necessary. You cannot become a good advocate if you don't know English, if you don't know how to communicate with others. That's the main
Right.
thing. And that is the
Right.
only reason I've started learning this English language. And
Mm-hmm.
second thing is that like I want my kid to be learn this language, and
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to provide him with this environment so that
Mm-hmm.
just like from the beginning he will learn this language and he will be feel more comfortable. He won't
Okay.
feel any hesitation kind of things. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
these are
Mm-hmm.
the two major reasons.
Sure, sure. Now, thank you for that introduction of yourself as well as letting me know what is your goal because that's how I can frame my questions around it. All right. So good to have you. And let's begin with something interesting. By the way, I am Madhav Anand. I'm from New Delhi. I'm your tutor for this session. As you can see, I'm a public speaking coach and communications mentor. That's about me. All right. So the assignment for the day that you have been given is jobs, right? So, as an advocate, are you a regular practicing lawyer, or you do it on a part-time basis? What's your mode of job?
I am regular practicing advocate. I have my
Okay.
own law firm and I'm doing my work. Yeah.
Right. And is there any particular kind of cases that you cater to? Is it more related to corporate? Is it more related to civil or criminal? What kind of cases do you usually deal with?
I'm particularly dealing in trademark copyright, the IPR sector,
All
basically.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. And why did you choose that kind of job? Like job, as in that particular category of cases. What made you feel that this is a good play? I mean, good play field for yourself. Why did you choose that?
See, what happened basically, people learn through experience. My
Hmm.
experience was in this particular field even before I did law.
Okay.
I have worked with a law firm for almost 6 years, and
Hmm.
I have learned everything related to trademark, copyright, and patent and design. So I was
Mm-hmm.
really good in doing that thing. After that,
Okay.
I pursue my LLB. So my goal of pursuing LLB is only to get the degree and start something my own, and want to become professional in this particular field. That's the reason I'm doing it, because I'm very much comfortable. I am, you can say that I'm very professional in this particular field. Yeah,
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. All right.
that's the reason.
Now that's wonderful, right? When you have a certain amount of experience in a certain category of work, and then you build your professional degree over that, and then you start working, it actually kind of circles back. It comes back to help you in, even more than what you had done before now, because you are not just full of the skills, but you also have the necessary certification. Good, wonderful, very impressive. So, Karishma, tell me, the most difficult challenges that you have faced in your firm, like not during your work with your law firm, but setting up a firm and becoming an entrepreneur, because now you're not just a lawyer, you're also an entrepreneur when when you're moving things on your own. So what are those entrepreneurial difficulties or challenges you have faced?
Okay, the major difficulty is that I'm not able to devote my time, because
Mm-hmm.
as I told you that I am a mother of two kids, and my both of the kids are very young. One is
Okay.
5 years old and the other one is only 9 months old. So I am facing
All
very
right.
difficulty to devote time. However,
Mm.
my all every day is like a very hectic day for me since morning, like from getting up to till sleeping. It's a very
Mm.
hectic day. I have to focus on everything together. Like
Right.
I'm attending hearing in the mornings, and at the same time I'm just taking care of my kitchen, like whatever I'm
Mm.
cooking. So I'm just,
Correct.
it's very hectic for me. As far as the thing is concerned, as you said that you face what kind of challenges, I really do
Mm.
not feel any big challenge while starting
Okay.
this, because that has already like pre-planned. You can say that I was planning it from a very long time, because I have
Okay.
this skill. I know I have to do it, so it's very easy
Mm.
for me. I didn't
Mhm.
feel any difficulty except devoting time. That's the main problem. So maybe after few years the problem has been resolved on its own, but till
Okay.
now
Okay.
I'm, yeah, that's it.
Hmm. Now I understand that as a mother, and especially a young mother of young kids, it can definitely be a bit of a trouble.
Very challenging.
So, can I say that the difficulty, that main difficulty that you're facing, is basically managing time along with limited energy? Because we all have 24 hours, right? Doesn't matter who you are. None of us get more than 24 hours. So you find it, the energy at the beginning of the day and towards the end of the day are different, right? We have different sets
Different,
of
yes.
energies, right?
Yes, yes,
So,
absolutely
okay,
right.
right. But definitely all the praise goes to all young working mothers, particularly. Not that stay at home mothers are working any less, but working mothers particularly deserve all the praise for managing so much, right? Definitely you get the praise for that. All right. So Karishma, tell me, in your English speaking journey till now, now I'm not aware how many classes you have taken already with Englishyaari, but what I want to understand rather is, in the journey of English learning, I'm sure you have been trying to do stuff on your own also. Maybe you got some coaching, or maybe you were going through YouTube or whatever it may be. But what I want to understand is, what all things have you done till now? The
um
one-on-one practice that you're doing is maybe recent, but before that I'm sure you have tried your own tricks. What are those tricks?
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. The
Yeah.
journey was not at all easy for me, because I
Hmm.
have studied from Hindi medium school, so my English was poor from the beginning. I was
Okay.
not able to speak any single correct sentence at the beginning.
Hmm.
So I thought of like, okay, now I have to do it for
Hmm.
the sake of my kids, for the sake of my profession. I have to become fluent. So
Right.
I made a trivial mistake, I would say. I
Hmm.
started from the grammar. I tried to understand all rules of grammar.
Hmm.
However, I was failed to understand them, and then I moved to this YouTube. YouTube has helped me a lot, and I would say like this is the only thing which made me perfect in my English. I used to
Hmm.
watch a lot of English YouTube videos, English vlogs, English travel vlogs especially. So I
Hmm.
used to watch them, and then after I realized, okay, now I need to polish my grammar skill, because I could speak good English, fluent
Hmm.
English, but the problem with me was I was not good with my grammar. I
Okay.
used to make a lot of grammatical errors. So then I
Hmm.
joined. professional platforms like one-on-one platforms to improve
Hmm.
myself. And the Ace Fluency was the first application I started using it. Like it's been
Okay.
2 to 3 years ago. I
Hmm.
used to I start talking with the learners, other learners,
Mhm.
and this is
Okay.
how I become fluent. And then I joined paid classes from Clapping Go and then Englishyaari. I'm
Okay.
still learning because I'm still making grammatical errors while speaking. So yeah, this is
Mhm.
how I improved. Yeah.
Right. Right. What I deeply appreciate about the way you started your journey is that you did the same mistake that most people do, right? Because our conditioning, right from the beginning, from our school days, is grammar cycle. Right? This is what we have been taught that to know or speak a language, you have to learn, you have to have great sense of grammar. But the reality is actually the opposite. I'm not saying grammar is not important, but grammar has a role afterwards. First is developing the speaking confidence. For example, how does a child learn a language? Your kids are little, right? Right now they are learning the language. How are they learning? Simply listening and copying and imitating, right? So this is how exactly we learn any language. And especially if you're speaking, your mother language should be Hindi, I believe. So when you're speaking the Hindi language, are you thinking about all the vyakran that you had learned back in school?
Never.
No, never.
Never.
So it does not mean that you don't need vyakran. You need it, but that is additional knowledge. Speaking a language comes by speaking it with the confidence of making mistake. That let me make 100 mistake, but still 100 mistakes, but still let me try it out. That's how exactly we learn a language without feeling embarrassed. Right? The problem with English is that people have connected English in our society with intellectualism or social
Yes.
standards, right? If you speak English, then you are at a higher standard. If you're speaking Hindi, then lower standard, right? These are some stereotypical mindsets that need to change over time. But what I appreciate again you about you is that you started, taking up the right formula. That is, listen to others, whether it's a blogger or a YouTuber or movie. Listen to others and start saying the way they are saying. Right? Start speaking the way they are speaking. Good, well done. Very, very impressed and very proud of you.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, so you're not just a YouTube consumer, you're also a YouTube creator. Tell me about it.
Yes, and you won't believe that that YouTube channel is also a part of my journey.
Uh-huh.
There was a time when I used to speak broken English or like incorrect English. That was the
Mm.
time I started my channel, and I used to share
Okay.
my own experience of learning English with my audience. And this is
Mm.
how, just by speaking, creating videos, I achieves a level. At least
Mm.
now I'm able to speak. I can communicate with anyone with full of confidence. So that comes
Wonderful.
naturally just by creating videos on regular basis, and this is what I'm still doing. Yeah, so
Mm.
my
Mm.
channel is doing great. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's it.
All right. Okay. I'll let me know what channel is it. I'll check it out. How you doing and what you're
Karishma
doing.
Chauhan, it is in my name, Karishma Chauhan. Yeah.
Karishma Chauhan. Okay, maybe I'll check it out sometime later. But good. But I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy and so proud. Why I'm using the word proud, I'll justify why I'm saying it. You're coming from a background where you did not go to an English medium school. You're coming from a background where you could not speak English even a couple of years back. And the way you have evolved, and that too using your own ideas, getting creative, even putting the hard work. Most importantly, not being afraid or ashamed of putting yourself out on social media, which is a dangerous place. Social
Yes.
media can be an extremely dangerous place. You can get trolled, negative comments, it can affect your mental health badly. And when
True.
you are in a learning phase, when you're not a master of something, people make fun of you a lot. I don't know what kind of fun you have been made of, but people do get exposed to such kind of trolling, and that can hamper your entire journey. It can jeopardize your entire journey. But you have braved that, and you have still taken this upon yourself to build yourself. Lovely, very impressive. Okay, all right. So let's do a little quick exercise. I'll give you a scenario. You have to develop that plot, that story plot. Okay, do it for
Okay.
5 7 minutes. Try to stretch it a little, right?
Okay.
Do it comfortably. You don't have to overstretch, but 5 7 minutes would be a good time. So you are on a foreign trip with your family. Choose the country you want. That's up to you, right? Choose the city, the country you want. You're on a foreign trip. Unfortunately, you lost your passports. Okay?
Okay.
This is a bad scenario. What will you do next? How will you handle the situation and everything else to get back home? Develop the
Well,
story.
okay. So, okay. Me and my husband, me and my entire family is in the Switzerland. This is the place where I always wanted to visit, and finally my dream has come true, and I am here. But the main problem is like I missed my pass. I misplaced my passport. I don't know where I have misplaced it. Maybe during the journey, maybe after, maybe in the cab, or maybe at a hotel. I really do not remember. So I'm very stressed out right now. So I'm going to call my husband and I will tell him. However, I'm very stressed, like how he will behave. He might get angry on me because I'm actually a very careless person since like very long time since I am in his life. He always told me the same thing, that Karishma, you're very careless. You don't know how to take care of your own things. So now I'm getting stressed, like whether should I tell him or should I initiate everything on my own. Okay, so what I did, I complained to police and I told them the whole thing. Like, okay, I was traveling through India to Switzerland, and my passport. I have last seen my passport when I was taking off my flight. Is this correct?
I last saw my passport at the immigration counter before
Okay,
taking off.
I
Before taking.
last saw my passport at immigration counter, but after that I do not remember like where it has gone. So I will ask their help. I am just telling you the scenario what I am going to do. Okay, accordingly I'm placing the story. So I will go to the police and I will ask them to search my passport and I will tell everything to them, and then I'll back to my home. I'll discuss it with my husband. I'm sure he's not going to happy with this. He will start throwing tantrums. No tantrums. He will start taunting me for not taking care of my passport. Maybe, but yeah, that would be fine. And then one police officer came to my hotel, and he asked me the details. He asked me if I have any other ID with me, like the Indian IDs, like voter ID, Aadhaar ID, whatever. However, I do not have any experience of going to foreign trips, so maybe all the things are imaginary. I
Sure.
do not have any knowledge about that. And then they start doing it. I don't know. Okay, then they will help me, and somehow after 3 days of staying in Switzerland, they finally found my passport and they get back to me. And I was so happy. I was so excited and thrilled. Now I can enjoy my journey to the foreign trip. My whole like 3 days went very sad, thinking about the passport and the situation, like what is going to be happen next. But fortunately, I get my passport back with the help of the police officials, and now I'm going to enjoy this trip with my entire family. My kids
Mhm.
are also happy now, my husband is also happy. So we are going to another hotel because we have covered all the areas of this place. Like this place, now we are going to another hotel and we are going to stay for around 7 more days, and I will enjoy. That's it. I know it's not 5 minutes, but I'm not able to because it's something out of my reach.
That's okay. That's okay. The purpose here is multiple, right? One is to make you uncomfortable because comfortable speaking we all do, right?
Yes,
My purpose is to make you uncomfortable
and
with the kind of
I was uncomfortable because I have never dealt this kind of scene, obviously, and I
good,
have
good,
never thought about it.
good. It's okay. I can give you very uncomfortable topics also. That you are the last living human and zombies have attacked the planet. How will you save the rest of the? These can be that imaginary also. The purpose here is to push your limits, right? Not be in your comfort zone, right? So that is number one. And I think you have done a good job, right? You
Okay.
started to create a story, craft a story. You got a little confused between hotel and how and home, and then you thought of talking to your husband. Your husband will obviously know you guys are on a trip. You cannot hide it from him, isn't it? Right. So anyway, crafting a story will only get better when you do it multiple times. But still, I appreciate that you have done it even in 5 minutes, because this is not a comfortable thing for anyone. I mean, even if I were given this kind of a scenario, I could fumble as just like you fumbled, right? So it's nothing like someone is great, someone is not. We all get better with more and more practice, more and more thinking, more and more opening up our creativity. So yeah, good job with that. Now coming to my assessment of how you do, what you do, what mistakes you're making. One of the things that I see is that your grammatical slippages are happening almost in every alternate sentences. Not blunder mistakes, but minor slippages. Okay, here and there, somewhere the is not needed. Let's say you are using the word the, or in and to, where like the preposition related mistakes, or somewhere the article is required and you're not using that article. Now, the point that I'm trying to make here is, if grammar is so important, why not teach grammar? No, the right formula is to make grammatical practices without getting into the rules. Okay, so for example, I'll give you a, sentence. I'll ask you, Karishma, use the word enable in this particular sentence, and then you will create a sentence using the word enable. If there is a mistake, I'll correct it, and I'll tell you this is the correction. You stick to the correction, don't repeat the mistakes. This is how we learn grammatically correct speaking, writing, or simply using the English language. Instead of getting into the past participle and the transitive, intransitive, and direct, indirect, that is confusing. So, my suggestion to you is, after assessing you, after this class is over, whenever you come to my class, or even others' classes also, but especially in my class, we will do a bit of a grammatical sentence framing without getting into the nitty gritty and the rules of the grammar. Okay, correct sentence making we'll learn for at least 5 to 10 minutes. The rest 10 minutes we can have our random discussions, and then some feedback here and there last 5 minutes. So 25 minutes we'll use it in this way. Do you think this is a good idea? I want your opinion.
Yeah, yeah, this is a great idea because I know my lacking points. I am making
Right.
mistakes like grammatical errors, so
Right.
that should be improved. Yeah,
Sure.
so that's a great
So
idea.
whenever you're in my class, and you can propose this to other teachers also, that this is the area that I'm lacking, and I would require some help. Can you do something about it? They can use their tactics. I mean, they don't have to follow my way. I'll follow my way. They are free to use their own creativity. But if you pitch this, it will be helpful to you. Make
Yes, yes,
sense?
100%.
All right, Karishma. Good to have you today. Anything else from your side? Any thoughts?
No, no, no. Thank you. It's a nice session. I enjoyed this session.
Absolutely. Same here. Absolutely same here. All right, then. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye. Hope to see you soon again.
Yeah, sure. Bye bye.
Bye bye.